And just to kind of touch on, built for rent and kind of why we believe in it, why we're bullish on it. Obviously, there's a massive housing shortage. A lot of that is in these high growth markets throughout the Sun Belt. You're seeing the cost to purchase homes has increased substantially. Wages haven't really caught up with that. And then in addition to that, kind of on the flip side, is the median renter age has increased. And what we're seeing in built to rent actually is extremely high household incomes in our communities and across the nation in general. Your median renter age has increased by almost 10 years, really since COVID. And so what you're seeing actually is a lot of renters by choice who are choosing to either relocate for a job or retirement and would prefer to not necessarily put equity back into a home, but to have the same product, if you will, for rent. And so what we're seeing are rents that are, anywhere from across the country, $2,000 to $4,000 just as a general. And most of these homes are $350,000 to $600,000 comparable homes. So really interesting opportunity from a rental standpoint. It attracts a demographic that I think has been underserved. And we're seeing that as a response in the market with the amount of interest it has garnered through institutional investors.
One other thing just to add to that, David, is on the trend of the shifting demographics is the first time homebuyer age in 2024 was 38 years old, which is up 5 years from 33 in 2020. And the first parent age is up from 28 to from 25 in 2001. So there's just a general trend of these major life milestones happening later in life, opening up a gap in between apartments and first-time home buyers that's really created this demand for built to rent.
Yeah, thank you, Austin. It's a great point. This slide, what's interesting is it kind of highlights, what we view as sort of the three food groups as far as rental product. You have your conventional multifamily apartments. Generally speaking, most of that is 1 to 2 bedrooms. Historically, if you were going to rent an individual home, you would either have rent that from an owner, or there's a lot of institutional investors that own thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of individual homes. We call those scattered. So they're not part of a rental community, but it's a home that's for rent. And so what's interesting there is that generally that could be a new home, that could be an older home, and you don't have the benefits that a lot of apartment living offers. And so meaning professionally managed, amenitized, et cetera. And so I think this chart is really interesting in that it kind of gives you touch points of build for rent really checks almost every box. And I think one of the most interesting things from a long-term hold standpoint is because we're purpose building rental communities, we're conceiving these communities as 100% rental, meaning there's no individual owners in the community. The agencies, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, have introduced programs where we could actually refinance after construction into an agency product over the long term. That would really create one of the most attractive financing opportunities. That does not exist in single family scattered. So when you think of single family rental, that could mean multiple things. What we're really focused on today in these opportunities is what's known as build to rent, which really is effectively an apartment community that's horizontal, that doesn't have any shared walls. It offers private outdoor space, which you don't get in an apartment necessarily, or most of the time. Plus you have dedicated parking in your unit. And so to Austin's point, in that the demographic is shifting, we're really serving, I think, multiple demographics across different age groups that really value privacy, space, outdoor space, and obviously having your parking in your unit as opposed to in a garage or surface parked.